got a special guest up in here, the Just Acting Up Show. Kyndra, what's up, man? We got a father. Got clapping in.
Wait, let me put my reaction. Let me put my hand clap too.
Go ahead. There you go. I like that. She got a hand clap up there. Oh my gosh, too funny. So, Kyndra, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, first off, Kyndra Crump, aka the HNIC. For all the ones that don't know what that means, you need to go take a refresher course on urbandictionary.com. Okay, but yes, I'm the HNIC. Recent graduate of Clark Atlanta University. As y'all can see that little diploma thing right there, just chilling. Okay. I graduated with my bachelor's in mass communication. So the dream, with a concentration in radio, television, and film. And so the dream is to have my own radio and television show. So when I make it, y'all can say, I know her personally. Yeah, let them know that you know me personally and everything else like that, you know. And so I'm also Rapper the Game's wife / baby mom and Nelly's wife. So we're all in a poly relationship as we speak. We live in a bridge house. I'm in the hood right now, but we're working things out. So we're gonna probably move to Miami or something. I don't know. And I'm a free spirited, person, God-fearing woman on a good day. I always say, man, start your day off with God in the morning and listen to Trick Daddy afterwards. It's a healthy balance. And that's pretty much it, me in a nutshell. And as far as with how I got my podcast, so I've had a lot of people tell me that I've been funny since I was like yay high, right? Including my teacher, Miss Rosser. Shout out to Miss Rosser, my 4th grade teacher. And I've had kids tell me I was funny, right? And it's 3 things that don't lie: it's children, a drunk man, and leggings. Okay, so with those 3 things, I said, okay, let me go ahead and, especially like I said, with children, having multiple people tell me over time. I had a minister, the same one who baptized me, was like, hey, you need to, this is your calling or whatever else it may be. So 2016 was when I started off of Snapchat, and I'll be like, hey, welcome back to the Kyndra Crump Show. But at the time, it was like Lil Kim's hardcore album type of comedy. And actually, I wrote some of her lyrics, and we beefing right now. So if you don't see my name on her credits, that's the reason why. Okay.
Oh man.
It's a shame, man. It's a shame. But yeah, so I learned that you can be funny without talking about the birds and the bees. You can be funny without, using profanity or whatever else it may be, right? So 2016 via Snapchat, imported my videos late 2017, early 2018 on IG, because I realized you can't go viral on Snapchat. You can go viral on IG and everything else like that. And so I started doing started my podcast July 2019 with my best guy friend Lance. Because he's hilarious, and I said, hey man, I got a lot to say. Some things I get banned for a lot of stuff online. Let me go take it to my podcast. And nobody's gonna really ban me off my podcast and everything else like that. So we started together, but the thing is, when you start a business venture with somebody's gonna fall off, right? Is you and I didn't want to feel like sitting here mollywopping Lance because of the fact that he wasn't showing up on time. I mean, I wasn't paying him, so he didn't have to. Back to the story. So I started doing other people's podcasts October 2020. And, I've been on probably at least 700 podcasts at this point. But basically, my podcast is we talk about whatever. I have a segment called What Would You Like to Ban? BAN. For example, I want to ban people who park over the line. And then I ban podcasters. I ban celebrities. I say names on because I look at it like a Yelp review, right? I look at it like this. If these podcasters did this to me, they're gonna do it to y'all. So I want to save y'all the trouble from not having to work with them. It's a lot of janky podcasts. And I used to hear the thing, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I used to be afraid to say people's names because I was oh, what if they fight me? What if they put hatred remarks? What if they say something to my phone? Bro, fear is really what kills folks, man. So
it really does.
With that being said, man, you bleed just like I bleed, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be okay. That's why I say, man, God didn't give us a spirit of fear, so you gotta, but you still gotta. I think sometimes when people use Bible verses, they take it all the way out of proportion. You still gotta use some common sense, but no, if you a janky podcast, if you a janky celebrity. If you out here doing what you're doing that's wrong and everything else like that, now I'm gonna let folks know about you so they won't work with you. Man, you heard? Yeah, I heard. Yeah, okay, cool. What you got? I have receipts. Okay, I save everything, man. I'm the same person who count my money out as soon as the ATM shoots it out because I still don't trust it. That's what I'm saying. I don't have time for that. But yeah, that's just to answer, like I said, just going like kind of how I got started with everything, and hopefully I answer all those questions correctly. Sometimes, like in school, like I was gonna try to be like a chef and whatnot, but like I was like failing math every other year, like pretty much like I was like I was in remedial classes. And I know my mother was like so tired of showing up at the school with a new wig for these PTA meetings. Like I was about to be on the short bus, y'all. Like we tried hooked on phonics, but honey, I was hooked on stupid. So something like I said, I try to answer all the questions. I try to like answer more, go above and beyond now. Like it's I'm doing a lot better. I still have my slow moments. I'm like, bro, work smart, not hard.
Me too. I was in no classes too for behavior.
Oh, behavior.
Yeah,
were you ever the kid who like talked a lot in school?
Yeah, that's where my son gets it from.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I was only child syndrome. Well, I have a sister, but she was like 8 years.
Okay, so you still did you have any pets?
No.
So you had a lot of imaginary friends?
A lot of them.
Do you remember some of their names?
I forgot some of them.
Now, did you have like alter egos as well?
I had that too.
Do you remember your alter egos' names?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We had the same childhood.
I have only one alter ego. Her name, before like my Instagram name, I had to change it. It was Idolized Dynasty, right? Dynasty was created in high school because I was about to start, like, Dynasty was a mixture of Lil' Kim and Mike Tyson, right? And so I was going to use Dynasty as my stripper name too. But then I realized I got 2 left feet. I was going to be the first stripper in history bringing home pocket change. You would have thought I was working for a nonprofit organization. So, but I could still strip just like for one night to see how much money I make. But I'm waiting till my following is a little bit larger, and I'm like, y'all come see me at Magic or the Flame, out here in Atlanta, wherever.
Can I throw them Usher dollars? Do you take Usher dollars?
You know what? I done seen a couple Usher dollars in my neighborhood, man, and I'm like, bro, I thought it was real money. I thought it was 2 10s, and I'm like, bro, like I thought, like, okay, God, I see you, and God's like, psych. So yeah.
Oh wait, time out. So take wait. Because I always had a joke with somebody saying like, yeah, I'm so poor if I go to the strip joint, I'm like throwing change out like this. I'm gonna just spread it all across. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't get upset if somebody like just threw change right there in front of you, or like just handed it to you?
Well,
like,
okay, so let me give y'all an example, right?
Yeah.
So Fetty Wap, y'all know Fetty Wap, right? Yeah. So he came to my kiosk one day, and I always act like I don't know. When a celebrity pops up in my kiosk, I always act like I don't know who they are, because I feel like they respect you a little bit more, and they'll probably tip you more if you act like you don't know who they are, right? I feel like it, but maybe I should start acting like I know who they are, so they can leave me a real tip. So Fetty Wap showed up at my kiosk, and he was very mannerable. I acted like I said, I made him laugh, and he left me 14 cents. He said, keep the change. Now,
big ballin'.
Everybody, I tell people that, and they say, well, maybe because he couldn't see. And I'm like, no. He can't. No. Yeah. He had a wallet full of money. Okay, he just didn't feel like giving extra. He's got a weed habit. Come on now, like he got 12 kids. I'm like, you know what? I come across cats, right? I come across, at least that we know of. I come across cats who got like all these kids, and I'm like, bro, are you trying to be a rapper? Like, why do you have these many kids? Why don't you want to go get neutered? Okay, what is wrong with you?
How many kids?
I mean, but no,
how many kids is too many?
I'm gonna keep, so when I was younger, like maybe when I was like graduating high school, of course I had guys with kids try to holler at me, and at that time I didn't want to be like nobody's stepmom, because I'm still a child myself, right? I can barely, I be burning water, but I'm a lot better cook now, y'all, so you can still come and shop, eat my plates. Back to the story. Here's my thing, as long as you're able to take care of them, that's why I'm not picky on if a man has children, as long as you can take care of them and me. Okay. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. I feel like, and then it also comes to the point like, okay, how old are you with all of these kids as well? Now, if you are 30 years old and you got 12 kids, that to me is like, that shows irresponsibility. But if you're 50 years old and you got 12 kids, okay, I understand you was younger. So it depends on the age group and how old that person is, in a sense. But no, like, here's my thing. And I take Fetty as an example to answering your question. change is still change. It adds up. I got a change drawer. Okay, I go to Coinstar every week to 2 weeks, and I dump it out, and I bring back whatever it comes to. So yes, I'm cool with it. You know.
Okay. Gotcha. That's funny as hell to me. I'm sorry. Just the thought of a stripper just like you just, I'm gonna throw all this change out right there. I'm like, okay, bet. You know, just scoop it up at the end of your shift or whatever.
Exactly. I'll scoop it up at the very end of my shift.
Money is money. Okay. That's funny as hell to me.
So what was that that first moment where we really started to see that people really started like laughing and liking what you were putting out there? Like, what was that moment like for you? Like, okay, people actually are liking the content I'm putting out there.
That first moment was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like, everybody's always laughing every time I say something. But then it got to a point where people just like randomly pop up chat on Facebook Messenger and be like, Kyndra, tell me a joke. Kyndra, like, made me laugh. And I'm like, bro, like, get out my, like, stop. I don't have time for that. Like,
right.
That's the most annoying thing you can ever ask any comedian. Hey, tell me a joke. You tell me a joke. Yeah. Don't do that. Do not do that. But no, I like it. It feels cool, but like, I don't allow it to go to my head. Like I said, I don't really try. Try. I've had people ask me, oh, since you got like a large following, how's it feel to be like Instagram famous? I'm like, well, I don't have a verified check mark. I've had like six like six of my followers come up to me randomly like, hey, you're the girl from IG. Hey, you're the comedian. Whatever else it may be. I had one cat, he came to my kiosk and I didn't know who he was. And he said, hey, like, I really love your work. You're really funny on IG. And I'm like thinking he'd leave me a tip, so I must not be that funny. I was about to say that to him, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because he might not just have it. You know, I had to think about that. I'm like, you might not just have it, you know? So, so I'm like, I appreciate you still watching and supporting and everything else like that. But I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's great. But like I said, I don't try. I just, you know, I just say what comes to my mind and then hope people laugh, and there it is.
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to catch the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix?
I have not, but I have seen the most viral clip that, you know, keeps getting circled around and everything else. And I definitely agree. They proved him right. Like, I'm like, yep. He didn't say nothing bad about y'all, but he just basically ruffled your demons, and now you guys are trying to cancel him and everything else again. I'm like, yeah, Dave, but he's like, I don't care, I got paid already.
If they really watched the special, they wouldn't be angry.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
They really watched the special.
I finished it. I watched it yesterday out of spite of people saying that they was gonna cancel it, because I was gonna watch it anyway, but then I ran to it like, oh, this what y'all upset for? Because they were saying, hey, don't watch it. We gonna protest. I'm not protesting Dave Chappelle. Now I'm gonna watch it 3 more times.
Right.
So I mean, I caught it and I'm like, man, it was very ingenious. It's stand up. It was just, you know, it was one. I'm not gonna give it away, but he said something about someone that he knew that got on stage and he was like, they bombed. I'm like, ooh, that feels bad as a comedian. It's like, how you got the nerve to go out there and just, you know, deliver. Like, that's tough. People think that's easy. That is not easy. It's okay to tell jokes when you're drinking. When you get up there in front of 50-something people, be funny. So how do you deal with your nerves?
That's you know what? And here's my thing, right? I've done a few stand-up shows and I've been doing pretty good. I think, you know, depends, like, okay, how long do they want you up there? Because you can tell jokes for 5 minutes. Okay, cool. But if it's been 40, you gotta tell jokes for 45 minutes. You think you're doing good, and you looking up at the clock. You're like, damn, I got 30 minutes left. What am I supposed to say? You know, that's when it becomes tough. Now, I haven't had that issue yet, because I haven't had nobody who's willing to pay me. People want to support you until it's time to pull out their wallet. So,
you know, true story. I thought about doing comedy back in college, but you know what scared me away from it? I used to go to the open mics at the Improv, and I remember seeing this dude. And he would go up there. Well, he went up there and he bombed. He bombed terribly. And I happened to be sitting next to his family and his granny. And after he bombed, coming off the stage, his granny leaned over to, I guess his wife was like, well, at least he got to live out his dream. And then he came over, he was just clapping him up.
No, oh my
But
gosh.
I mean, they boosted him up when he came over there, but I was over there. That was the funniest joke I heard that whole night.
That's hilarious. She should have been up there, man. She should have been up there.
Hey, get Granny up there, man. Oh, that's cold blooded. So, who was your comedic inspirations that you looked up to? Who were some of yours?
Top 5. I'm going to exclude Kevin Hart, Chappelle, Richard Pryor, and Bernie Mac. And even though Kevin Hart's not funny to me, right? My thing is this: if you start wearing a dress you already sold out, shout out to Flip Wilson who started that. Arnaz J, Carlos Miller, Chris Rock, Cedric, and Steve Harvey. Those are my 5.
That's a good group.
That's good. That's a great group. Yeah, I dig that. I dig that too. Wow, so many. Okay, so what about do you have any lady comedian?
Comedian Miss Pat.
Miss Pat. Okay.
And Wanda Sykes.
Okay, yeah, Wanda.
Those are really the only 2 for now.
Gotcha. Very good picks. I like all those picks. All of them, they paved the way for us, and all of them. Have you met any comedians like that's out there right now? If you haven't, or that's cool as well.
No, I haven't. I have not yet. I mean, I'm sure one day it's gonna happen, but no,
it's
not
gonna
yet.
happen.
Not yet.
It's gonna happen. Oh no,
like little local comedians that have like 1,000 followers on IG, but nobody like big.
Yeah, that's cool too. But no, I already claimed it for you. Like this already gonna happen. It's set in stone. It's gonna happen for you. I know it is. Who do you think? Well, actually, trash that. So we're in cancel culture heavy right now. Big time. So do you ever think about, like, I know you were saying earlier, like you just, you talk about this and that and you just, can't leave yourself in fear. But is there anything in your comedy where you tell yourself like, don't go there because that'll be too much, and for a fact that'll just ruin everything? What is it topics that you stay away from in your comedy?
Pedophilia, molestation, and rape. Like, I don't find nothing funny about that. Like, people are still making the same R. Kelly jokes. And I mean, yeah, they gonna still make me chuckle from time to time, but it's like, okay, guys, it's 30 years old now. We should not be still talking about this. But yeah, those other 3 topics, I don't find nothing funny about that.
Gotcha.
What about, have you had to deal with hecklers yet?
No, I haven't had to deal with that. Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's so off.
That is a blessing.
Yeah.
That is
not yet.
Not yet. How would you deal with it?
How would I deal with it? I don't know. I mean, how are you supposed to deal with them?
I would take the D.L. Hughley writer if I had the gift of comedy, roast them right back.
Yeah, well, I'm good. I mean, I'm roasting, I'm cool, but like I don't know. I have to probably be under influence of some type of substance or whatever in order to really, really roast.
Yeah, I going to comedy places or just going to poetry night. I feel like the person with the mic is the one that has the power. Mm-hmm. And when I went to the Dave Chappelle special, when he came down here in Houston a couple months ago, they had security, of course. And so I like that, what they said earlier, they were saying, okay, right at the beginning of this, before we get started with the comedy, if y'all keep heckling the comedians on stage, the security will come get your ass. And they just gonna do a little signal like, hey. And they were like it was
no, I was gonna say sometimes, in certain elements they're put there to be a part of the show, and then sometimes it's not, like, okay, you got to leave, Yeah. So I hope, like, if that ever, I mean, I don't know, I think those are bigger venues and everything else like that, so and everything else, so like I said, that's the thing about that. So I don't know. I think I'm like, and then on top of that, I'm like, why do you just go to shows just to hate? Like, what's the point of that? Have fun. Like when you said, like, with you, Chris, when you talked about your homeboy's grandma, they were supportive, but at the same time, did they have hecklers? No, it was like, okay, they just tried it out. Now, did he ever try to go back on do stand up again, or did he just grand opening, grand closing?
I think that was a grand opening, grand closing.
Grand closing. Damn.
Yeah.
It's like, who told him to get up on stage in the first place?
You know what? I mean, at least it was an open mic, so maybe, you know, somebody was like, man, you funny, you should try it. And he probably tried and it just didn't work out. Now, Granny, I need her to get her on set.
I think older people are naturally funny.
They are.
I'm sorry, my mom is hilarious.
Especially once you get to a certain age. I only pray that I get to live as old as my grandma, because you don't have to have no filter at a certain age. You can just fire off.
And nobody gonna run up on you and be like, man, what you say, old lady? You know, we ready to fight. They're gonna let that slide because you older now.
Yeah. And then, like you said,
of course, my mother's funny as well. I tell my mom all the time, I'm like, you need to, you know, be a part of my little set and everything else. She tells me to keep her name out her mouth when I'm talking about her on my own podcast. I'm like, Mom, you famous, man. You funny. So,
that's probably where you get it all from, right there.
But you know what? Growing up, I didn't appreciate it because I didn't like her. I was trying to step on cracks to make her back break, and she come in the house. I come in the house. I'm like, yeah, her back's broken. And I come in the house and she's praising the Lord. I said, what the heck is going on? And I found another crack outside. I just stomp on that. Like, what's wrong with that girl? You know.
I swear we had the same childhood. I think I was trying to step on as many cracks as I wanted.
Did you ever try to run away?
No, I didn't. But I had. One of my man, I ain't gonna put his business out there. Trust me.
Well, you don't have to say his name. You could just one of your homeboys.
I know someone that ran away multiple times till it was to the point where, shit, if you gone, you come right back. But no, I never tried to run away. No,
I have. That was a failed attempt. You know, like when you see in the cartoons or the movies when they take them bed sheets and tie knots on it.
Yeah.
That's some our stupid ass did. And who was since I was the youngest at that time, who was the first one to go? Me. We threw that out the damn window, and the way how the townhouse was set up, the patio was right there with the window. So you see my little feet just kicking, and my aunt come out there and said, "What the fuck? You know what y'all trying to do?" I said, "We running away. Get your." And she yanked me down, and we all got an ass whoop, and that was the failed attempt for us. So.
I ain't had the courage to run away. My mom though, she did have that she kept holy water like bubble gum. You do something. Hold on, come here. In the name of Jesus.
You know, Chris, for whatever reason, I kept thinking, you know, like those barbershop capes. I thought you had a barbershop cape on your neck this entire time. I said, oh my God. I said, he about to do his own hair. Okay.
You know, the background and, you know, I don't need y'all seeing my house back there.
I just thought you about to go to the barbershop. Or you at the barbershop.
I mean, I know the lineup is clean, though, right? Yeah.
Okay. Look sharp, brother. Looking sharp. Oh man, so that's cool. Okay, so those your comedy heroes right there. Who is the first comedian? Well, when you do really break out and make it big, who is the first comedian or comedians that you hope that you get a chance to work with and learn from?
And see, that's the thing, right? We're all still human at the end of the day. So I know, like they may or may not they may say something that I don't like, you know, where I'm like, you know what, I liked you better on stage and in person, because they still could have a bad attitude. So I've had people ask me that question before, and I was like, oh, I want to work with this woman, or I want to work with this person, like Miss Pat. I would like to work with her, but I slid in her DM and she just left me on scene, and I'm like, okay, I was trying to work with you, you know. So stuff like that, like it's you know, as time is progressing, when it comes with, it be little things. Like I didn't realize until like when I was a kid, things didn't piss me off, but it be little things as I get older that just be like, it be the principle. I'm like, why would you do that? You know, so people got a lot of strikes in my head. I be like, people be striked out with me and they don't even realize it, you know? So with that being said, to answer your question, I mean, it can be anybody, but I don't want it to be like, you know, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, I looked up to you as a kid, and then I'm like, bro, you really a whole jerk out here. So you know, that's like I said, it's really anybody.
Yeah, whoever has the opportunity to give you and everything. And I know it's coming. I see it. Like you funny as hell. Like I be watching stories and I'm like, man, that shit is fun. Like that is hilarious. You be chopping
my little airport chronicles. You know what? I had this one. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. So there was this one, and I already talked about her on my podcast. I shouted her name out. on my podcast and everything else. But she basically, her podcast is about like manifestation, right? And I said, sent her a message saying, hey, you know, can I have the opportunity to jump in on her podcast? You know, we can talk about manifestation. Maybe there might be something I'm not doing right that I, you know, want build. I have to realize manifestation is not going to be like a microwave type of thing. It's a manifestation is an oven type of mentality. You got to keep on working at it, and in due time it will come. Or if it doesn't, it might put you in a different path, a way where you can end up getting to where you want to be. You know, like I told before we started recording, I was telling them that I had this dream about Nelly, right? And it would be, I'll tell you guys a dream, okay? Because I used to have this thing where I'm like, I'm not gonna tell my dreams, because if I don't tell my dreams, then you know, or if I tell my dreams, I'm gonna jinx it. And I'm gonna tell you this: I had a dream, Uncle Phil from you know, you gotta tell for the slow ones in the back from Fresh Prince, because you guys do have, you know, some people, some of y'all's followers, they wheels on they bus don't go round and round. And like, who's Uncle Phil? Your Uncle Phil? No, guys, TV show.
TV show.
James Avery, rest in peace. So I had a dream. This is in 2013, a few days before he had died. And I had a dream that, no, it was like many months before he had died. But I had a dream that like he came into my school, right? And and he just randomly just opened the door. Like, you remember the principal back in the day in school, they would just open the door, just go and check on the class and everything else. He just randomly opened the door and started talking about, I don't know, he was talking about nothing. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm about to meet him, right? And then he died. And I'm like, I didn't tell nobody, because I'm like, oh, I'm about to meet him. Yellow Wolf, y'all know Yellow Wolf. I think he was one of Eminem's artists. I had a dream like we were out hanging out or doing something in that realm. Now I did speak to him via IG, but it was like, hey, can I get an interview with you? And he had sent me to his manager's page, but it was the wrong manager. Like, it was like a blank page. And I'm like, okay, you know, so, you know, but no, this dream I had with Nelly. So like I said, for the last few weeks, now that he's on the market now, you know, for now, I think they got other hoes, like they're just in line, like, okay, you're next type of thing, right? So I had this dream that I told someone, I said, hey, I'm trying to be in a poly relationship with him in the game, but he don't really know it yet, right? But then they went and told him, and he got upset. He's like, we supposed to be together. Like, he was like acting all gangster. I'm like, oh, okay, I like you a little bit more now. So he's like, and I said, look, Cornell, I'm so sorry. I call him by his government name. I'm like, Cornell, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean for it to come out like this. Like, I like you a lot, man. We supposed to be together. I said, but what can I do to make it, you know, better? Like, I'll suck your dick, man. Something like that, you know. He's like, no, I don't even want that. I'm like, damn, like, you know how mad a man can be? Like, if he don't even want you, give him no head. Like, I'm sad.
Yeah, he's angry.
He was mad. He's like, you at least you could have told me if you was trying to do all this together. I thought it was gonna be me and you. I brought you on this trip with everybody in front of you. Like, we were having like a whole like argument. I'm like, oh, this must be real. And then my alarm set off. So thanks guys for ruining. We were supposed to get our freak on. Back to the story.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
So the girl with the manifesting girl, basically I asked her, you know, she said, okay, we'll set something up. She was starting to watch my stories, and you know, like I said, you know, people come up into the airport and they look, you know, like they be wearing their kids' clothes, you know, the babies be all held all wrong. Like, I'm like, bro, that baby looks so uncomfortable. What are you doing? You know, all that type of stuff. And she said to me, she's like, how are you supposed to be, I understand you're a comedian, but how are you supposed to be empowering women if you're out here making fun of them? It's like, what part of women empowerment is this? And she had said to me, she had basically said to me, well, that's what she said to me. And I said to her that it's not, I am, you know, I'm just showing you, like, this is not what you look like. I said, you don't come out the house looking like this. You always look your best. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And I said that that if I was to actually go up to them and tell them that they look bad, you need to wear a better shirt, all this other type of stuff, then they will call me a female dog. Again, you have to realize, man, your mentality is not going to be there. Like, if you knew better, you do better. Right? So if your mentality is not there, it's not there. And so, you know, I let her know, like, you just don't do that. And she says, well, who are you to sit here and and talk badly about a woman, you out here, you know, this is probably why you haven't made it to where you're supposed to be at with your manifestation, because of the fact that you out here talking about people. Even if everybody else is doing the same thing, you shouldn't do it. If a woman wants to feel comfortable like that, let her dress like that. And then she says, you know what, good day, best of luck to you, and then she blocked me. Typically, I have the last word typically, you know, but I guess she wanted to have last word. But that people on my podcast, they went on her page, and I'm like, you know, I forgot the joke that they were saying, but they were clowning her. I'm like, gosh, she looks just like those women that I was making fun of, and she probably dresses like them too. I'm like, but you can't. But here's the thing: I got on a podcast. I did a little pre-interview podcast with somebody who has who pretty much has the same shape as her, and she says, Kyndra, even though I know I'm a big girl, I still know to dress modest. I'm not going to sit here and have it all out. You don't do that. And I'm like, thank you. I'm glad that you don't, you don't get upset. Now, I have came across some big people, and like their confidence was so through the roof where they like, you can like, I'm like, oh, let me get you on my IG. I have done, it's not all the time. It's like every blue moon it happens. But if you look good, if you're someone who's big and you look good and your confidence is up there, okay, let me get you up there and everything. Let me hype you up. But if you look bad, I'm still gonna hype you up, but like you're gonna be without realizing it. Like I done had guys who came to my kiosk and they had like ashy feet. I'm like, let me get the outfit was great, but I made sure to zoom in on those feet as well. You know, I like, and people are like, well, how are you able to get them? Like, you know, when they right up in your face and they got the camera, I say it's a certain way you gotta look. Like I be looking like I'm doing my hair or something like that. That's what you gotta do. You gotta make it look like you doing your hair or whatever. Or you.
So next summer I'm gonna try the open shirt on the beach. Just take all this in.
No, I mean, you might, like I said, man, you might end up on somebody's page, man, but hey, as long as you know.
Hey, man, as long as you're confident with what you got going on, you chose it. Like I had a homegirl say, hey, you chose this. So, and that's what I like about when, you know, your stories, like I call you an equal opportunity roaster. Like either you're going to roast this person or you're going to applaud this person. And I see you do both, and I love the way how you do it, and it flows, and it's so fun.
I'm like, if you look good, I'm gonna shout you out. Like sometimes I can't shout everybody out because they have to go catch a flight, you know. But I really do try to shout people out. Y'all, did you see last week? Like I do jewelry as well. Like I'll say, hey, is this jewelry real or fake? Young Dro, it said Hustle Gang. Young Dro's jewelry was fake. He did not even want me to show the watch, and I'm like, I already got the watch. And Young Dro was dumb as hell. I had a 60-second conversation with this man. I'm like, who is giving you sex, sir? Who is giving you sex? You are stupid. Who is allow you to pump up in them? You are dumb, sir. You need to go back to elementary school. You need to figure out your sentence. You are stupid, sir. I didn't think that he was just that dumb. I could not believe the fact that he was literally sitting there saying what he said to me, and I'm like, this is really who he is, man. And his fingernails, I forgot to roast him. I'm gonna roast him. His fingernails look horrible. His fingernails are very long, and they look like they are just got the nub fingernails, and they are disgusting. He looks like he's been playing in dirt. I'm gonna talk about him on my podcast. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna talk about him on my podcast. He's getting banned again for his fingernails as well. Just disgusting.
You're welcome.
Stupid. He's like, oh no, don't show my watch. I'm like, oh, it's already too late. And then people on the podcast like, oh, that was Young Dro. I'm like, yes, that was Young Dro. They're like, oh, you should bring a diamond tester to work. And I asked,
don't do that. Don't do that. You ain't gonna have no rappers. You're gonna have barely rappers to come on your show.
Well, here's the thing, right? I asked the TSA, wanted TSA. I'm gonna get a second opinion because I feel like I don't feel like she didn't know what she was talking about. But I asked TSA if I could bring a diamond tester through here, and she said, no, you can't. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to. You know, is it like use a weapon? I don't know why you can't. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't think it should be a problem to bring a diamond tester. Is it a weapon, or?
It can cause weapons. It probably somebody like I think about what could happen, and let's say, for example, not you or somebody who's probably has a diamond tester. They say, "Oh no, your shit is fake. My shit ain't fake. I paid $1,500 or $2,000 for it. Your shit is fake, bro. I'm not fight right there." That's what I'm thinking. So maybe they had that situation happen before.
No, not in the airport. That's like a 1 in something chances. I think
I'm not gonna say it. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna really be like, once it doesn't beep, I'll be like, or if it does beep for fakeness, I'll be like, all right, well, you know what, you rocking that. Okay, bye-bye. Get out.
It won't beep.
It ain't gonna be.
It's just straight flat line.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have been in my DM and said you should bring a diamond test. I said, okay, well, before I buy one, let me at least ask if I can, because that'll be a waste of money for me just have it sitting around the house. I got a real watch, but other than that, my thing is this, man. What's the point of you coming to a public place? If you ain't, what's the point of wearing fake designer? If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. And the fact that Young Dro, what are you wearing your hustle gang? Everyone kept saying it was fake. I asked, I'll do a poll, real or fake? It 91% of people said it was fake. So what does that go to show you? It's just to me just doesn't make any sense. Why are you wearing fake jewelry? If you don't what? That's what I don't understand about him. I'm gonna talk about that on my podcast next week. Man.
We gonna check it out.
He clean in this.
And then on top of that, he was going to Raleigh. I'm like, who is still sitting? You had 3 songs. Who was still seeing you perform? Come on. That doesn't make any sense. What are you still performing for? You had 3 songs, sir. There is nothing to perform. Go and the airport is always hiring. I'm sure you make more money at the airport than you do what you're doing. No one's buying no song from you. You ain't been hot since 2010. 11 years ago, going on 12. You got a preteen. They in middle school right now when you was hot. Okay?
Oh man.
Gosh, I'm just saying he's dumb.
He made you mad.
So
Little Scrappy came to my kiosk. He didn't leave me no tip, and you know what I said? That's why he was on the back. He was riding coach. Okay, he was flying coach. Okay, he came, left me nothing. I acted like I didn't even know who he was. He was flying coach, and he was the last to get on the plane. Chili came to my kiosk, and she left me nothing, and I acted like I didn't know who exactly this woman was. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Whatever. That's why your son, you know what? So I be looking at some of these people's kids, right? And I be like, bro, why you're an attractive woman. I think you're an attractive woman. Why'd your son come out looking like a lesbian, bro? I don't understand that.
Oh my goodness.
Who you said, Chili?
Yes, her son.
Oh man.
Oh.
Why did your son? It's because you kept making those hatred songs about men, and now it's it came back on you. Come on now. I'm done roasting. Y'all might have to cut me off now. I'm done.
You good?
You good? Hey, you had, it was in your spirit this morning. You had to get it off your chest. You had to let it out. Before you go to work, you had to let all that out because you're gonna go into work roasting people. So I'm like, let her get it out now. Oh my gosh.
Before we let you go, let us know where our fans know where they can follow you.
Y'all can find me on The Corner, but while I'm not on The Corner, y'all can find me on Instagram, The Kyndra Crump Show. So D is in the KYNDRA, CRUM is a Mary P's and Paul Show. Not with no money sign, not no fake ass ASAP Rocky, SHOW. My YouTube is Kyndra Crump, KYNDRA space CRUM as a Mary P's and Paul. Okay, my own podcast that y'all can show up at, anytime. It's called The Kyndra Crump Show podcast on Fridays night.
Well, you're not gonna be too late for work now, are you?
Show when I feel like showing up. I gotta go get my praise and worship on. Yeah. All right, guys, let me go ahead and go. You all take care now.
Thank you.
You too. Be safe.
Bye-bye.